Actually, I'm still delayed. I gotta grab my computer. But we are live. MF Duck, how you doing? Uh, how you guys doing? Welcome back in. It's like this charger doesn't work. Good, good. I'm just packing. I'm late today because I'm packing up orders, trying to catch up. Everyone's on vacation. Thanks, Cajun Chef. Yeah, man, I had a geisha today, and that coffee tastes like wine. There's a lot going on in coffee that we don't understand. And I got something a little new today. Well, I'm gonna try it. It looks like I got a Hawaiian ultra white. Don't tell me now nothing's charging. There we go. Yeah. Well, you'll have to wait 3 years for it to come in. But I'm thinking about it. I got a field I need to replant. Might as well grow the good stuff. Death Doors, how you doing? So there's some dengue in Hawaii, and you see how many mosquitoes I'm dealing with here. Mm. Give me a sec, guys. Gotta load up my shop. Loading up the shop. Yeah, lost track of time there. I feel like all these orders built up. I thought I'd been caught up, and I'm not, so I appreciate your patience. Give me one sec as I load up my shop here. Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna try this stuff. I just made it. It looks like my Hawaiian coffee this time is like ultra white, but I'm not sure. I'm about to drink it, so I'm gonna run it differently. I better just keep calling it the white. Yeah, I'm not gonna change it. All right, how you guys doing? Welcome back. Uh, welcome to my show. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Cleve. What are we doing? What are we doing today? Got a freshly roasted white. Got some Kona Estate. What is it? Friday? So, welcome to my show. I'm coming to you live from Rooster Farms on the Big Island of Hawaii, where we have an active volcano, and we're trying to sell you guys some Hawaiian coffee here. Hawaiian coffee and Kona coffee, some of the best coffee in the world, and it's really comes down to how we pick the coffee. It's you almost can't tell the difference. Yeah, wow, this Hawaiian is extra light. I better just put it down as ultra light. I'm gonna be flying again. So we do have some variability in our roasting, unfortunately. Mm, hopefully, you guys will be able to tolerate that. I'm getting all of your orders out as quickly as I can. I know we're kind of behind, but if you guys are just joining us for the first time, my name is Ed. I'm coming to you live from Rooster Farms, and oh man, this white coffee just changes everything about the day. It just changes. It's like taking it. I don't even want to say that. I'm getting in trouble. Man, so many restrictions on what we can say, but I get it. I get it. So many mosquitoes. There's dengue out here now. I'm gonna get more honey too. Apparently, the honey's been coming in, and you guys are getting it, and it's coming in fine. So that's good news too. All right, all right. So if you guys are just joining me for the first time, my name is yeah. We got some big mosquitoes. My name is Ed. I'm coming to you live from Hawaii, where we have an active volcano, and this volcano is constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients. So these micronutrients uh, make the beans here grow closer to their genetic potential. Basically, the beans grow larger and denser, and as a result of that, you're going to get a smoother cup of coffee, a richer cup of coffee, and there's going to be fewer, like less, you're going to get, what's it called? It's going to be less bitterness, somewhat less bitterness, especially when you let the coffee ripen. So, most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine, whereas our coffee is picked by hand. And the coffee that isn't picked with the machine is picked with labor from people who are getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee. So people are getting paid, basically $1 or $2 a day to pick coffee, which is, if you've ever picked coffee before, that is crazy. If you had to pick coffee for $1 a day, you'd probably lose your mind. In fact, even picking coffee for $100 a day, you will lose your mind. It's not fun to pick coffee. Once you pick coffee, you're gonna savor. And caught it with the one hand. Boom. You live out here long enough, you learn that the best way to kill mosquitoes is actually to kill them with one hand, not clap them. When you clap them, they just bolt. But if you grab them with one hand, it's skills. So we pick all the coffee by hand. I wish, but I don't know how to use chopsticks. Yeah, I always, everything Chinese growing up, I rejected it. I was like, I'm not using chopstick, I'm using a fork. I'm not learning Chinese. I'm not hanging out with Chinese people. Where'd it get me now? Red, white, and blue. How you doing? So, if you guys are just joining me, my name is Ed. I'm coming at you live from Hawaii on the Big Island of Hawaii. We got some freshly roasted estate coffee, medium and dark. I really like that. That's like feel like in a way that's our best value right now because it has the 100% Kona name to it, and Kona coffee is considered the best coffee in the world. It's the highest grade of coffee, and this coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It will not hurt your stomach when you drink it, and that's because of how fresh it is and how sweet it is. So you guys got to remember, coffee is a fruit that grows on trees, and like any fruit, if you pick it too early, it's going to be sour and bitter, no matter how large you got that fruit to grow. And that's actually why most of the world's coffee is so sour and bitter. Most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine. And when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe. And unripe coffee tastes like any other unripe fruit. So if you're trying our coffee for the first time, I would do the dark roast. The dark roast is sweeter, just smoother. There's no bitterness, no sourness in the coffee. Tastes like a toasted brown sugar. Use one stock in a 1 liter, about a liter of water or more. That's right. Thanks. Are you a Cajun chef? Are you Roberto Clemente? Because he always actually helps me stay on target. Lucky Luciano, good to see you. We're allowed to laugh on this platform. We're not allowed to laugh with the communists. The caffeine, it does have caffeine, but it's going to be a much cleaner feeling than other coffees. When most a lot of coffees have mold on them, right? When you drink coffee, I know when I drink some coffees, I get anxiety, I get the shits like right away. And if you guys ever done mushrooms, think about how you feel when the mushrooms first kick in. It's actually the same as coffee. So the jitters in coffee, the anxiety, the shits that coffee gives you, that's actually from the mold. And and if you ever done mushrooms, it's the exact same feeling. Yep. So you guys are drinking moldy coffee and you're getting a little hit of mold. It's caffeine processed mold. You're eating the caffeine that the mold has eaten and pooped out, and that's actually what's giving you all the jitters. Some people like it. Or some people are like, I drink coffee to shit. And but again, it's not coffee. It's actually the mold on coffee. And why is coffee moldy? There's a number of steps on the way that will make coffee moldy. The first one is the milling, right? We keep our coffee in the shell. So all the grades of coffee that we have are in the shell, and we keep all the coffee in the shell until it's ready to be uh, milled. When we mill it, we separate it out into different grades, and then we separate it out into different grades, and that's where these grades are from. So they're all coming off the same thing. But the point is, when you shell the coffee starts getting moldy. As long as the coffee has a shell on it, it's actually a living seed. It's something you can plant and it'll grow. But the second you shell that coffee, it starts getting moldy. And so the green beans, all the coffee that we import from other countries, the green beans are actually going to start getting moldy. And you can't really see the mold. At the beginning it's microscopic, but there's always mold on coffee because coffee is actually fermented. So there's a balance of like a microbiome living on the coffee while it's alive, while it has that shell on it. But the second you shell it, the coffee's starting to die. And now you start getting, the bacteria, the good bacteria start to die off. The little bits of mold that are in there start to multiply. And so your imported coffees, which are sitting in the port for months, right? They're sitting on the ship for months, sitting in the warehouse for months. Takes 3 years. 3 years after you plant it, and then we actually prune them back to the stump every 3 years. And then on the second year, you get another small harvest, maybe quarter to half a pound worth of roasted coffee. And then on the third year, you get 1 to 2 pounds of roasted coffee. For us, at least in Kona, it's different for each region. And then we prune it back to the stump, and we have it on these 3 year cycles. So mm, this white coffee, this is the ultra white now. We're gonna have some batches that are white, some that are ultra white. It's I'm gonna hopefully have a little bit of leeway for it, but this batch is ultra white, which is really nice. It just removes any bodily discomfort. I feel like that's a legitimate way of saying it, right? Just everything feels amazing. So even the dark coffee will give you some of that, right? Coffee is a strong anti-inflammatory. It's got all sorts of psychotropic effects. It's a nice buzz from the coffee that you don't just feel in your mind, but you also feel in your body. And the white coffee is just off the charts. But I would start with the dark. I would start with the dark because the dark roast is going to be closest to in terms of taste to what you guys are used to. So if you're new to Hawaiian coffee, you're wondering what's unique about it. The flavor profile is sort of a chocolate toasted caramel. There's no bitterness, no sourness in there. It's not burned. It doesn't. It's not flat. A lot of coffees are kind of cardboardy, but this is just sugary. Hey, Brabble, how you doing? And it's sugary because of the fact that we pick the coffee overripe. So we're basically letting the coffee fruit turn brown before picking it, almost like a ripe banana or a ripe strawberry has just way more flavor, way more sugar compared to um, other fruits, and the sugar content is just way higher. So Hawaiian coffee is I can guarantee it will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It won't hurt your stomach, and it won't give you the shits. I'm not gonna say it's good for anything MF Duck, but the white coffee has a lot of trigonelline in it. And if you look up trigonelline and what you're asking about, you will notice that there's a lot of research about it, and other people have been take drinking the white coffee for that same reason, and they are also reporting back that it helps a lot. But I don't know, you know, I can't talk about that. I don't know if I mean flat, but you know how the flavor is just kind of flat. The flavor is kind of cardboardy. No one's gonna label it flat. Our coffee is also freshly roasted. That's the second reason why we don't have mold. Once you've roasted the coffee, yeah, sorry about that. Once you've roasted the coffee, it starts to you want to let it rest for a week, and then it starts to develop, get sweeter because it has to release carbon dioxide. But after that, especially in the darker roast, it starts going moldy. And a lot of the coffees you guys are buying, if the best buy date is September 2026, then that means it was roasted in September 2025 or even March 2025, 18 months before. So it's just a crazy amount of time that the coffee can sit on the shelf. So if you ever drink coffee and your mouth gets sticky and kind of this bacterial or even moldy, and you taste almost like you ate old yogurt or old strawberries, old fruit, old jelly. That's really sometimes you can taste that in the coffee. That's because of mold. And then that coffee is going to give you stomach aches, acid reflux, going to give you the shits, just or even just a little liquid poop, and that's all from mold. So our coffee, this dark roast was roasted 2 days ago now, and then we got another batch coming today. We roast in small 20-pound batches. We roast multiple times a day. What can be done about the mold? The only thing that can be do the only thing you could do about the mold is not drink moldy coffee. You got to drink fresh coffee, freshly roasted coffee. You can buy it from us. You can go to your local roastery. They're always roasting their coffees, and they'll tell you when they roasted it. But if you're buying it from the supermarket, unless you're buying it right when it got roasted, and I don't know. I was in New York last year around January, and that coffee was freshly roasted because the best buy date was March 2027. Right. So then which roast did you get? Exotic buttered? Yeah, our coffee. The other thing, I when I drank this coffee for the first time, I definitely noticed that the Kona coffee affected me differently. It made the colors pop out, and I was wondering, is there something in our water or something like that? But I think that's actually how coffee was meant to be. when it has all these micronutrients or it's fully developed, when it's allowed to ripen for 4 weeks longer than coffee from anywhere else, um, the coffee is just way better. Like in terms of just how it affects you, in terms of how it makes you feel. Excuse me, it's just way better. And so this is so the dark sampler I would say is the one you want to try first. Even the dark sampler will make you feel nice. So I'm just gonna run. I only try to sell what I have fresh, and then once in a while I'll do bundles. I think what I'll start doing is bundling things right before they start to get nothing. I mean, I never sell anything that's more than 2 weeks old because I always just clear out. Even 2 weeks is really fresh. So I don't know. Anyway, here let's do one more $1 start on this dark estate. Even the dark gave you a nice buzz, except toilet paper. I was looking into making toilet paper during COVID. Yeah, you get a little body high. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe it's something they put in our water. I also noticed when I drink tap water here, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the water, but maybe not. I don't. I hope not. But we don't actually irrigate our plants, so it shouldn't be the water either. So I don't know. But I did notice that too. $1. Nice. Mm, yummy. So the white coffee we have today is like ultra white. The last few batches I noticed the white coffee still had more, and I'm gonna probably just call that. I'm trying to dial these in a little bit more reproducible, but or maybe I'll call it ultra light and then ultra white. I don't know. We'll have to dial in. But all of this stuff from light down, it just it's just strong, extremely strong coffee. Coffee that no pesticides is a big issue too. I think it's the ripeness though. If you guys ever grow weed, if you pick the weed too early, it doesn't get you high, right? It just gives you it makes you kind of jittery and nervous and it kind of numbs your body, but doesn't feel good. It has a lot of CBG in it. And coffee's the same way. There's all sorts of other stuff in coffee that's actually making you feel good. And most coffee is just picked unripe. It's picked green, it's picked white, it's picked red orange, it's picked pink. And so the compounds in the coffee haven't been allowed to ripen. And so those compounds are telling you don't drink me. And so that's another reason why this coffee just affects you way differently. Um, Now, if you are interested in this one, this is the ultra white. Really, really sweet coffee here, or really, really raw. And you're gonna maybe see me start rambling pretty soon. I just started drinking the ultra white. Although the white coffee hasn't been affecting me the same way. After I drank like four huge cups of it in one sitting once, it just hasn't been the same. But we'll see what happens. But this is a sample of our Hawaiian ultra white, which gives you, I would say it's like drinking 10 cups of coffee, and you're gonna be buzzed. You want to look at my show notes? Sunshine, thanks for picking that up. Let me put on some show notes. Here we go. Oh my god, my little daughter. So cute. I'm gonna have my daughter at the farm next week, so yeah, let me put on the show notes here. Kona Estate. There's different levels of estate. Estate is a estate is the grade of the coffee. Once they legalized it, I stopped smoking it. I only like to do illegal things. I'm just kidding. I just stopped because I can't concentrate. I need to make money. All right. This is an ultra white, which is beanie. No, it's still almost. I don't know. It's still white. I mean, it's still in that same range, just a little bit whiter. This is like this is like it can get too white, right? It can be too white. But it's strong. So this is like 10 cups of coffee. This coffee, it's just a little bit lighter. It's a little bit nuttier, JD. I'm just trying to kind of dial it in for you guys so you know what you're getting. It's just a little bit whiter. It's more nutty than before, but pretty close to what it was. Is that a peace sign there? You know, the peace sign also makes me paranoid because when people give me the peace sign, I think they're flashing me a gang sign. Nice. And ultra white is it's it's really white. It's got more of that corny flavor to it, but maybe I think my palate has just adjusted to it. After you drink the white coffee enough, it starts to taste like coffee again. It's kind of weird, but it is really strong of a buzz. It gets you kind of flying. It makes your body feel very gets rid of discomfort. Gets rid of discomfort in your body. I think that's a good way to put it. The middle finger, usually it's only your friends giving you the middle finger. When someone flashes me the peace sign, it's like I feel like you're starting to become friends and they want to let you know, hey, I actually came here to spy on you, but now that we're more friends, I want to let you know so you don't get mad at me. That's sort of what I feel when someone gives me the peace sign. Yeah, because I get a lot of people who give me the peace sign. You can do so. It's all coming off the same plant, right? These are just there. You go. See, there you go. That's what I like. That's what I like. Just give me the finger, guys. Just give me the thumbs up. I don't know how to take that. Surfing the Cosmos is referencing when I did that $1 start, I had to cancel his. This is this I don't know. This seems a little sexual to me. I'm not sure about this. Right. So I'm not sure about that one. It's kind of like this, this and this. Yeah, those two make me. I'm wondering. A little bit seems a little bit sexual. I'm not sure. So all of it's coming off. All of the coffee we have here is in these big parchment bags. This is an example. So everything that we're offering is coming off the same trees, and that one you're just tugging me back and forth, surfing the cosmos. I don't know what to think about. That's not even the middle finger. What is this? I don't even know what that is. Never seen that before. So this is all the coffee is coming off in parchment, right? Okay. This is what we call parchment. You're almost never going to see parchment in the U.S. because um, why don't I put this on a flash sale so you guys can just grab it? Uh, Here we go. So if you guys want to grab the ultra white, this is so everything comes off this. The estate, the extra fancy, the Hawaiian, all of it's coming off in this bag. It's just a matter of the bean quality, the number of defects, the bean size, the bean density. Density is correlated to defects. If you don't have any defects, the bean's going to be denser. So in practice, the way you get rid of defective beans is you just we have this shaker table which causes the beans to float up to the top. And um, I'm gonna go to the mill today. Maybe I'll do a quick show there. I'm not. They don't really have Wi-Fi there though, so that sucks. So anyway, the beans will float up to the top. and the less dense beans are equal for us to the defective beans. Whether it's less dense because there's a crack in it, it didn't grow properly, it has a pinhole in it. Um, those defective beans will float up to the top. And so the estate grade has less than 10% defective beans. Hawaiian grade has up to 33%. So there's three times more defective beans in the Hawaiian grade. Is free shipping over? And the Hawaiian coffee is just gives you the buzz, makes your body feel comfortable, gets rid of body discomfort, makes time fly. Um, just gets everything going for you. And the coffee is we can roast our coffee this light because of the fact that our coffee is so fresh and so clean. Yes, I will get that. I think I dropped some stuff off yesterday. Oh, Wall Street. I thought you told me your July 8th shipment arrived. So I got really confused. And so it didn't arrive. I thought like somehow it didn't get scanned. So I'll reprint that because when he told me that, I crumpled up your July 8th shipment because I thought it arrived. Got it. Okay. I'll reprint that for you. I'm sorry about that. I've been taking care of the missed shipments. My printer has been weird, so it's been like not printing stuff that I sent to it. That's what happened. I figured out. I think it was the Katora, and I definitely don't have any more. I'm not busy, Wall Z. I'm just behind and I'm disorganized. I'm kind of busy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to get there. I'm just mentally ill. So the white coffee will give you a buzz. It'll get you flying, and I'll get that definitely get that out for you, Wall Street today. Do you see that? I caught it, but then it flew out of my hand. That's the worst part. When you catch it with one hand, you got to kind of squish it. Otherwise, it'll fly out. All right, so that's our white Hawaiian, Toby. I made that joke, Cajun chef, and people got mad at me. Or this one lady from Brazil got mad at me. She said I was racist. And I was like, "Hey, you know, I'm a minority and you're white and you're calling me racist." When that happens, I get confused. She got really mad. And then she stalked my other account too. So I don't make jokes like that anymore. It's better just to avoid it. It was still, too close to the edge. Too close to the edge. That's right. Yeah. Interesting. They got rid of the free shipping, huh? This white roast is a little bit going to be a little bit stronger. What's your name? Tobe. What's your name? Tobe. All right, so that's my ultra white there. Whereas if you wanted the previous white, which is just a little bit darker, we have it in the higher grade, which is the extra fancy. And the beans on the extra fancy are perfect. Like they're just nice, perfect, dense beans. There's no defects in them. They're big. I'm drinking the white Hawaiian. I do have some Kona Prime, light estate, and extra fancy. I don't have any extra fancy light. I'm gonna get that shipped today, Caitlin. So I'll get that out. It's in the box. I had to reprint our labels because I had to put it into 2 boxes. So I'll I'll get that in the mail today. I've been making sure anyone who asks me, I pack it up myself. These are all whole bean coffee. We don't grind the beans. We don't grind the beans because they will cause the bag to explode. So let me do some estate coffees now. We have a medium estate and a dark estate that was freshly roasted. And I've been doing these for 25 bucks, which is 50 bucks a pound. So this is an estate dark here. And this estate dark, still a little bit lighter. It tastes like a toasted caramel with a little bit of maybe chocolate flavor to it. And then the estate medium taste is really good for an espresso. It tastes like a chocolate covered raisin with some brown sugar. Doesn't really have that nuttiness to it that the extra fancy has, but still really tasty. They smell really sweet, yeah. The beans smell like sugar, almost like a brown sugar cookie. A little bit of chocolate. I compare this coffee to a um, pastry. It's not fair for you guys, though. You guys can't call people racist if you're white. It's not fair, right? You can only call each other racist. If you start calling minorities racist, it gets a little bit weird. So it's hard. It's not fair. But I think, as we're getting as we get past the civil rights era, you guys are so used to calling each other racist that it's easy for you to slip and start calling minorities racist. Like, I'm a minority. I'm less than 3% of the population. But I think, the younger kids, they don't really understand why the whole thing started in the first place. So they start calling black people racist. They start calling Asians racist. And it's like, okay, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. I know that's probably, I'm just joking around, guys. You can call me racist. Remember that Broadway musical where they were like, when they were like, yeah, I mean, Chinese people. It's not Asians, it's Chinese people in particular. We're we're the most racist. Italians, I get along with Italians really well, but I don't trust you guys at all because I love you guys too much. You should never trust anyone that you love. So here's our Estate Gray, Estate Dark Coffee. It's I shouldn't say it's really half off. I should change that. Like it's like 45. I would say 40 bucks is more realistic for what it should be full price. Let me change that full. I can't edit it. That this your listing used to be for extra fancy. That's why it looks like that. So I don't want you guys to think I'm. So this is a better. So anyway, this dark estate was roasted. Um, this dark estate was roasted on Saturday, and this one includes extra fancy beans, the denser beans, so it'll be a little bit smoother than our other coffees. And if you guys are just joining us for the first time, if you pick your coffee, all of our coffee is picked by hand. This is all grown in Hawaii. We're coming at you live from the farm here, and you can see in the mornings we get these clear skies, and coffee needs 50% cloud cover to fully develop into its largest size and densest beans. If it's too sunny, it just tends to get ripe too quickly, and then you know, then it doesn't taste as good. It's not as sweet. It's a little bit more bitter. And there is a wide variation even in Kona coffee, but it really comes down to how you pick it. If you pick your coffee by hand, well, we have to pick our coffee by hand here. Whereas in other parts of Hawaii, um, you can actually pick the coffee by machine. So only in Kona do you have to pick it by hand. That's why Kona coffee is going to be way sweeter than coffee from even other parts of Hawaii. So you're going to see coffee coming from other parts of Hawaii that's a lot cheaper, and it'll also say Hawaiian coffee, but our coffee is specifically Kona grown Hawaiian coffee. And you will notice that difference is it's just way sweeter. If you guys are hooked on the white extra fancy, I'm gonna give you 2 pounds for $90 here. It's you've been silenced. You've been silenced, Angelov. And I got your 6 pound. I got your 9 pounds of coffee packed, and I got to ship 3 of those pounds separately. So I got so here's 2 pounds of extra fancy white. If you guys are hooked on the white and you like the higher grade of it, you can get 2 pounds of it for $90, $45 a pound right now. I like selling larger amounts. So if there's any other takers, here it is. Yeah, we're complete almost I think we're completely out of white Katura. So that's our extra fancy white. All of our coffee is coming off the same trees. It's freshly picked, or no, not yet. In about a month, our coffee is going to be freshly picked. So you're going to be getting coffee from this year, but it is freshly milled. So we keep it in the shell until we need to roast it, roughly 3 or 4 weeks before we need to roast it, which is completely unique. Everywhere else in the world, you're getting coffee that was milled, you know, before it was put on the boat. Whereas our coffee, because it's grown in the U.S., it was freshly milled, and that for that reason, there's going to be way less fungus in it, and for that reason, we can roast our coffee white. We also don't spray this coffee with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacterias. The ultra white is just the white coffee was a little bit lighter this time, so I wanted to just kind of specify that. So it's a little bit nuttier, but it's pretty close. We don't have the XF in ultra white. It's just how it came out. The white coffee is pretty tricky to roast because, with other coffees, you can hear it popping, and that's when you get the different levels. But the white coffee, you don't really know because you don't hear anything. You just kind of got to watch it. And when it starts cracking, it's a little bit too late. So you got to, it's a little bit harder. And most of us, we don't have that much experience roasting the white coffee yet. So is it, we were talking about that yesterday, and we were saying, I think these forest ultra out of the ultra white. We still have some more of that, Sandon. You guys want some more ultra white? Do you guys think it's dwarves who lit those fires, or do you think it was meth heads or lasers from space? You never know. You really don't know. You think it was birds? You think it was the lasers? Remember, they're saying if you have a blue roof, it'll block the lasers. So we need blue roofs, otherwise your house will light on fire. Project Bluebeam. I think we confuse the government with aliens because I do think the real government is aliens, at least in America. But like, I think sometimes the aliens do things and then the government takes credit, or sometimes we blame the government for what the aliens did because we wish the government had superpowers. But I think most of the time it's actually aliens. And we think it's the government, but it's actually aliens. Right? They can just use a different color laser, right? They don't need to use the blue lasers. If you switch the L's and the R's, alien becomes Aryan. What do you think of that? Ultra white gives you a really strong buzz. You saw I already drank it, and now I'm starting to lose it. Sorry, guys. And you guys don't have to bid this up. We're gonna keep on running for 450. In fact, it's on a buy it now for 450. It's on flash sale, so you can just buy it. Why don't I just pin it for you guys? Here, flash sale, 450. You can just pick up as many as you want. And this ultra white just gives you a very strong buzz. Um, Makes your body feel nice and just comfortable. Um, it supports your organs, increases your NAD levels in your cells. Just overall really healthy. Also makes you love eating beans. Since I've been drinking white coffee, all I want to do is eat beans. I just all I want to do is eat beans. Four of these left. I should have more of them. I should have just loaded my shop up, but now I can't change it for the next 42 minutes. Probably got a medium or a dark Hawaiian there. And even that, you're gonna feel the buzz is different. Better humor. You do get better humor, but then afterwards you're gonna be cranky, and you're gonna be bitching about your wife, and everything is like difficult, and technology sucks. Bush's baked beans, yep. My favorite is Divina white beans and vinaigrette. They come in these big 5-pound jars. Oh my god, I can eat those all day. They're freaking amazing. The big white beans, the giant white beans in vinaigrette by Divina, Divina. I gotta see if I could start selling those because I could talk about those all day. Garbanzo beans. You guys ever have this chickpea milk? You guys ever have this chickpea milk? They were selling this at Costco. It's disgusting, but I'm gonna drink it. It's weird. Not into it. It's just a little bit lighter, hustling hiker. Just a little bit lighter. But I want to just specify for you it's a little bit nuttier, but super subtle difference, maybe a little bit stronger. So if you're starting to get a tolerance for the white, this one just happened to come out lighter. So I wanted to just specify. We're still trying to dial it in. And if you bought the white coffee from before, the white Hawaiian, and you haven't gotten it yet, you're gonna get this one. So if you're still waiting on a batch of white Hawaiian, you're gonna get this one because this is all we have right now. It's just now this batch is just a little bit lighter. So woo, the white's starting to kick in. White's starting to kick in. You make bread out of chickpea and lentils. If you bought it from the 6th, probably. Well, I only started packing this up today. So if you already got scanned, no. But if you haven't, if your white coffee hasn't gotten scanned yet, then this is what you're getting. So if your coffee already went out, it still didn't get scanned, Brabble. I thought I packed it yesterday, so I'll look into that. So if it didn't get scanned yet, then yeah, this is what you're gonna get. And this stuff, the white coffee overall, just makes you cut. But you gotta make sure you eat. I find I haven't been eating, and I lost all this weight. So you do have to kind of force yourself to eat when you drink the white coffee. It makes you fly. Let me just give you some more of the white coffee here. I think I could pull up some more of this. Here, I have these in 12-ounce bags. So if you want them in 12-ounce bags, Here they are. I'm getting them out. I'm working out. All of my workers, they disappeared this week. I only got one person helping me, and I've been packing up packages myself now. So we're pretty close to catching up, but then maybe I should stop running shows and just stop selling stuff so I don't have new stuff to pack. So we're up to like I have a few orders from the 11th I got to pack, but we're mostly caught up. A lot of them went home. In Hawaii, everyone's always going home, and so. Uh, Let me restock those whites, guys. The ultra white, I only had about 60 pounds of it. And so if your body's been getting used to the regular white, you'll still get a little bit of a buzz from the ultra white. But pretty soon you're gonna have to just start drinking green coffee. I'm gonna have to roast it to 250, which is exactly where the psychotropic effect. So the reason why this coffee gives you this buzz is there's this other alkaloid in coffee known as trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. And so that's really what's giving you the buzz that you guys are experiencing. Did it get scanned? It's not the caffeine that gives you the buzz. It's this other compound, methylamine. So that's kind of a little known fact, but that compound is what's making making you happy, giving you euphoria. And when you roast coffee to a dark roast, the methylamine actually evaporates. It becomes flavor. So that's why your dark roast feels so much better. It's actually because of this compound methylamine. Oh my god, all these unfulfilled orders. What is going on here? I really apologize for these backlog. There's like one here, one there, and like it must have a million. I don't know. So, so as you roast your coffee darker, methylamine becomes, or trigonylene becomes flavor. It becomes methylated niacin. It becomes niacin by itself. It becomes flavor. So I think like 99.9% of it is gone by the time you get to a dark roast. Caffeine is much more stable, so you're probably only getting 50% more caffeine in the white coffee, but you're probably getting 50 times more methylamine and methylated niacin in your white coffees. In a way, coffee is kind of like, it almost has to be decarbed. You have to, at 250 degrees, the trigonylene becomes methylamine. Some of it, not all of it. And that's what's giving you the buzz, right? Trigonylene by itself is also this like superfood. It supports your muscles. It gives you more strength actually in the muscles. It increases your metabolism. It increases your NAD plus levels. So the white coffee is really where the health a lot of the health benefits from coffee comes from. And by the time you roast it to the dark, it most of that benefit goes away. I'm gonna run this at a flash sale. I replenished it. I actually have my computer with me today. Here we go. Is it quicker? I feel like it's slower. For some of you, it's quicker. Some of you, it's slower. It's all over the place, guys. But I'm just if you guys are like, where is my coffee? I'm gonna pack it myself. So if you guys are really desperate for the coffee, send me a message, and then I'll try to. I don't, yeah, I'm like, all right, Aaron. I actually packed yours up too. You got two packages coming. I got that extra pound of extra fancy in one of those packages, so yours is going. And yeah, my wife is like a massage tweaker. She'll text me in the morning. She's like, I need a massage. Get off whatnot, please now. Uh, and tweakers are the worst. I fired all of them. It's like they're great workers, but they want to be paid within like an hour of when they work. And sometimes I'm just like, leave me alone. And then so I just block them. I'm like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, now, I need it. I need the money right now. The gas station is closing. Anyway, so this is the white coffee here. Uh, it makes you stretch. See, I'm starting to stretch. My muscles are feeling like, you're the pain in your muscles. You're like ready to stretch. You're ready to work on it. You're ready to pump some, pump some, pump some iron. A little bit of yeah. I'm a little bit of a hippie. I just want everything to be relaxed. I'm like I'm like, Just give me a week. Give me a week to pack a package." That's the opposite, right? If you're a pothead, it takes you a week to pack one package. But my wife can't pack anything. Like once she had to pack a package and she got so stressed out. It took her like all day to pack one package. I'm not that big into Eastern religions. I always I'm always I don't know. I always like that stuff kind of pisses me off. I got to try that stuff, yeah. All right, what else are we doing here? I do like doing yoga. I do like doing yoga. Tried the Katora. Great. Ah, interesting. I'll look into it. Tibetans, apparently at one point they were the most advanced civilization, but they were too peaceful. Like they were too peaceful, so the Chinese came and just took them over. Too peaceful. The Chinese came in and you're done. You're finished. All right, what are we doing? I got 2 more pounds of the white extra fancy. I'm doing those for 90 bucks today. Yeah, they were I forgot. There was this professor, Uma Thurman's dad was like a Robert Thurman, right? He was a big Tibetan guy. He knew the Dalai Lama and he spent a lot of time in Tibet. And I was like following him for a while when I was in college. I was like trying to get in with Robert Thurman, trying to be a hippie, but he was too busy for me, so never happened. He was missing an eye. Yeah, he had this glass eye, so whenever he gave lecture, he'd take out his glass eye and he'd show it to people and put it back in. Yeah, that's too. The Dalai Lama said there's going to be no more Dalai Lamas, so he destroyed the timeline of reincarnation. He said, "I'm the last Dalai Lama." So every Dalai Lama after him is not the real. He finished it. What did he say? And Dalai Lama was was his tutor was that famous Nazi. Remember that? That Brad Pitt played in that movie. I forgot what his name was, but he was a famous Nazi with the deal in llama. Sometimes the AI, I think, tells us the truth. He's the deal in llama. He's the deal in llama, not the Dalai Lama. All right, I'm gonna do a $1 start on this 8 ounce of estate coffee, 8 ounce dark here. I gotta use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Get this 8 ounce of estate coffee. The deal in llama. He's the deal in llama. $20. 8 ounces. Bid, bid, bid. The deal in llama. Before I tried to become a military contractor in 2020, I was actually trying to go to all of the Native American tribes and try to get in with them. And I wanted to, because, with hieroglyphics, I have this theory that all of the Native American languages actually derive from hieroglyphics, and it's almost like the primer and contact. So if each Native American tribe learned hieroglyphics, they would produce a separate set of technologies because embedded in their language would be the secrets, and each tribe had their own secret. But then it was too much work. Then I found the spaceships, and so I just decided I'm in it for myself now. I'm not trying to help you guys. But for a long time, you can actually, if you get the tractor beams, Deltron, if you get something, I could prove it with physics. If you can actually cause things to float if you get it on its resonating frequency and use pulses of sound waves that actually you can actually get things to move doing that. So they probably use tractor beams. Could be that, or it could be that in each language there was a unique technology that was embedded and they needed, because they knew that we'd forget. So if you just read the hieroglyphics in your native language, you'll get your unique technology out of it. Because hieroglyphics works for every language, almost. It works for every Egyptian language. So it works for Chinese, it works for English. Any language where the number four is a pun for death is an Egyptian language. So like for example, in Dutch, the number four is Virs or something, VRES, I think, and that's a pun for virus. In English, you can switch the L's and R's. Four means foul, and that's turning putrid. In Chinese, four means also death. Japanese, four is death. Um, so that's a way you can tell if it was an Egyptian language. If the number, I think in Hawaiian, the number four is eha, which means to be wounded gravely. It's a pun for that. So all you got to do is look at your language and see if it's a pun for death, the number four, and if it is, it'll work with hieroglyphics. I'm the only one that knows that though. So should we do another one of these 8 ounce dark estates while we chat? So I started to learn like Cherokee, and what was the other one that I learned? I don't remember. Chippewa or maybe Lakota. I don't remember the ones. It was a long time ago. But I was like Facebook friends with all these tribes, and they started using my Facebook to like hang out. And then I had all these Native Americans coming to my farm because they're like, "Who is this guy sharing all our stuff?" So I started getting in with the Native Americans, but then and then I wasn't making enough money, so I was like, I can't do this anymore. $4 for 8 ounces. What is it, like 250? I don't remember how many tribes. A lot of tribes. Most of them have like three or four people, right? Or some of them have like three or four people. So this 8 ounce Kona Estate. The Estate coffee is clean, less than 10% defects, denser bean than the Hawaiian, a little bit sweeter. This coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. I will give you 100% of your money back. Tastes like toasted caramel. Yeah, that one's toasted caramel. Both the medium and the dark are very good for espresso. I spent a lot of time more learning Cherokee. So the Cherokee numbers seem to come from Hebrew, which is kind of interesting. You could, if you look at every number system, you can see that they're typically written in another language, so they have a code in all the numbers. Like in Mandarin, that actually has all the Jewish patriarchs in Chinese. So like 1 plus 1, Ijai is Elijah, Ijair, and so you can actually get all the names of the Jewish patriarchs from Chinese. You feel high up. That's why I'm sitting here rambling about Jewish patriarchs. I had a big cup of white coffee. It's strong stuff, right? It's strong stuff. The white coffee is strong stuff. And so if you look at the Cherokee numbers, it's actually it's Hebrew. It's like, so I really believe the Native Americans came from, just like the Mormons believe that they came from the Jews. Kind of crazy, but certain Native Americans. Then the other ones actually probably came from the Arabs, I think. A little bit weird, but anyway. And the Mayans, the Mayans, 25% of their words are identical to Mandarin. So that's 25% of their words are Mandarin Chinese words. That's kind of cool too. So they're about a quarter of their language is just straight Chinese. There's a whole paper about that. That's not just me making it up. Another 8 ounce bag of the dark. Whereas everything else you hear here is just me making it up. All right, I'll always tell you this is something that I just made up by myself. Versus this is actually things that other people have, scholars have discussed. 8 ounce bag for $4. Ooh, that one almost gave me a heart attack. $6 for 8 ounces. That's less than $1 an ounce, guys. No, you guys are only cheating yourselves when you don't bid on this. This is Kona coffee, minimum $50 a pound. I mean, you're talking 72, $80 a pound out here. Um, it's more expensive because of how we pick the coffee. We pick all the coffee by hand. We're only picking the overripe beans, so it's like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. It's like an ice wine, right? The ice wines don't really taste. They don't have any of the bitterness and sourness in wine, and this is the same way. There's it's picked overripe. All the bitterness has been reacted away. All the sourness has been reacted away. Me too, Evie Davis. But enjoy it while it lasts, because after a while, you need to take breaks from it. If you drink it every day, you're gonna build a tolerance to it. So definitely, and I mean, it still gets me high. You can see me rambling about Cherokee numbers, and that's obviously probably a result of the ice wine. I mean, the white extra fancy. It makes you feel a little bit drunk too. All right, let's do a bag of the medium estate instead of the dark estate. So the medium, the difference between a medium and a dark is about 25 degrees in roasting temperature. I also have an extra dark too. So, and the extra dark is oily. right? If you like your coffee with oil on it, then you want to do extra dark. If you The medium looks like this, the dark looks like this. I don't know if you can see the color difference here. Here, I'm gonna run this one as an auction. I just have these slow auctions today. This is your medium color, almost like a milk chocolate. And this one you can start to taste the chocolate covered raisins of it. You're throwing out the other coffees. Other people are gonna be upset at me. This is a medium. This is a dark. I don't know if you can see that color difference. You can see the color difference there. So the medium, you start to taste the fruitiness, and then the extra dark is oily. All right, so if you compare the color, extra dark is oily. Let's look at this. And this medium roast retails for 72 bucks a pound. In practice, you can get it from our site, you're probably paying about 60. Sometimes you'll pay less than that. And here you're getting it for whatever it goes for. So dark, extra dark. I'll run a bag of extra dark next. Some people like the extra dark, right? It's the boldest flavor. And the medium looks like this. It's like a milk chocolate color. Medium, I think, is the most flavorful. If you're getting a Kona, you almost want to drink the lighter roast because then you get that sweetness, you get the raisins, you get the fruitiness. The medium is really good for an espresso. You get most lighter roasts in espresso come out very, very sour. But our coffee doesn't have that sourness to it, so it's a very nice flavor. Whew. You also got to remember to breathe when you drink the white coffee. It makes you go flying. Yep. You had 12 cups. You had 12 cups of extra fancy. I hope it wasn't 12 cups. You had So this is the extra fancy white. If you guys are curious what Evie's talking about, it's cleaner in terms of the buzz it gives you, but I feel like you had 12 cups. That's a lot of cups. That's a lot of cups of that. So you're gonna be spent though. 12 cups is a lot of cups. I would be careful with that. I don't know. It can make it worse. It could potentially also make it worse. Um, so definitely, I would be careful with that. I feel like you got to talk to Surf in the Cosmos and get him to do some breathing exercises. That might help even more. Get the Tibetans in on it. Might make him hyper focused for a short period. Well, that's good. I was saying, if we just got you start grinding your teeth a little bit. Yeah. I was saying, if we just force every person in America to drink white coffee, we would get out of this economic mess, I think. AI is not going to help us, but if we can just get everyone to drink white coffee, through force. We got to do it through force. This is the Hawaiian white. If you guys want it. And then let's do a bag of the extra dark. Here, this is a bag of the extra dark Kona. It's the boldest one. Yeah, give it a try. It can't hurt. It's also really good for you. Kitty, I owe you something, but I forgot. I'm sorry. Did we get it out? Can you remind me what I owe you? I think I drank too much white coffee and Thanks for reminding me. I appreciate your patience. This is the extra dark here, boldest of all our coffees. So if you guys just love that really strong boldness, and all of our coffees are guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. That's the best part about this coffee is just won't hurt your stomach, won't give you acid reflux, won't give you that gnawing in your stomach. That comes from unripe beans. And most of the world's coffee is picked either with the machine or picked by people who are getting just paid way too little to pick the coffee. Way, way too little. Let's do another bag of this extra dark. Yeah. And then the light coffee even helps your body want to eat vegetables. I'm noticing. Like all I want to do is eat vegetables now. I don't even want sugar. I just want vegetables. And that's because coffee feeds this particular bacteria. It's a butyric acid fermenting bacteria, which wants to eat beans. So now all I want to do is eat beans. Like I just crave beans. It's kind of weird, but helps adjust your gut, especially the lighter roast. Whereas the dark roast is just going to be this bold, sweet coffee. Like just the easiest to drink cup of coffee you guys have probably ever tried. Liberica. Yeah, Liberica. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna pack that up today, Kitty. I promise you I'll get that. Sorry about that, Kitty. I'll make sure you're the first thing I pack after this show. I know I said that yesterday, and then I had all these other things, and I actually forgot. Yeah, Liberica we use as a rootstock here. It's actually not an Arabica, right? It's a separate strain. So you got Robusta coffee, which actually doesn't have any trigonelline in it. It's just caffeine. It's very bitter. Vietnamese coffee tends to be Robusta. I think Indian coffee is Robusta. You like that, Baron? Was it good for you too? The white coffee is I don't know. It's a little bit of a drug, but it's legal for now, right? They're not gonna ban coffee. I think it does. It does. I mean, I'm still getting. You can still see me. I'm kind of a little bit dizzy, but it's not the same. I've been drinking the white coffee for 3 months now every day, and it's not the same. The OG, almost like Hawaiian, right? So it's almost as good as the Hawaiian, just cheaper. So if you guys want 2 pounds of the white extra fancy, I got a few of these in 2 pound bags, so you guys can grab these if you are looking to drink the white coffee all the time and you don't want to pay for individual samples like that. You can get a 2 pound bulk bag like Anzu loves picked up. And so today I got to get Caitlin's 2 boxes. You got 2 flat rate boxes full of honey, and I got to get Kitty Mindo. And then if any of you guys are like super, need, yeah, the green beans are really hard to grind. I think the only way to brew the green beans is you just throw them in a pot of water and you boil them for 30 minutes. But the green beans won't give you the psychotropic effect. The green beans is like pre decarbed. If you drink it once a week, I think that's the ideal way to do it, Evie. So so drinking that 12 cups, you're gonna be a little bit tired for the rest of the week. 12 cups is a lot, but to use it, use that energy. All right, let's just run through each of my items now. We got the medium pea berry. Pea berry is the rarest of all our coffees. It only happens at the tips of the trees. It's a different bean. It's a denser bean, so it's almost like it when a peanut takes over an entire shell. Here's a 2 ounce sample of the pea berry, and it. This is the most expensive one that we have. It's on other platforms. It's like $110 a pound. When you come to the store in the U.S., I mean Hawaii to buy it, it's $56 for 7 ounces, and you can see the bean is different shape. It's when one of the beans curls up on itself, takes over the entire fruit. It's probably twice as dense, so it's a very heavy bean. And you'll notice the bag. If you get the bag, it seems like you didn't really get that much pea berry, but it is very, very heavy. And that density translates into a smoother cup of coffee. Um, it's got a wider range of flavors, even though it's coming off the same trees. When you go to roast it, it just roasts differently. So different range of flavors. Denser bean, it's like buttery smooth on your tongue. And the only bad reviews I get is from my wife. This one's buttery. This medium pea berry is buttery. And but you guys are really patient. I feel like I would get worse reviews if you guys weren't so patient, because I definitely the shipping, we have a lot to improve on shipping and labeling. And so this dense pea berry is buttery. It got even has this bees honey flavor to it. So it's kind of interesting like that. A little bit different than the other coffees. That denser bean just roasts differently. So instead of having kind of just a pure sweetness, the Hawaiian coffees are actually the sweetest of all our coffees. It's a little bit less complex, but having a less dense bean, it roasts differently, and so it's actually a sweeter coffee, ironically. Um, Whereas your denser beans, you get more of a nuttiness, but you actually get a little bit more acidity than the Hawaiian coffees. The denser beans will last better in terms of just if you leave it in the counter on the countertop in room temperature, it'll actually stay good for a very long time. The Hawaiian beans will not stay as fresh unless you freeze it. So that extra, the lack of density allows more air to interact with the beans, and so it actually will go bad a little bit quicker. That's another thing you want to be aware of. But here's our Hawaiian dark. If you guys want a Hawaiian dark here, um, this is the Hawaiian dark. This one's the one I recommend you start with, especially if you're drinking this EM Sectet. That's a really old site when my wife was still involved in it, but I cut her out of the business. We used to do everything together, and it was a mess because it was like it always became about her, but it's like she's not an engineer, so I don't know why I put her in business, and somehow she wanted to like be she my wife is like my daughter, that's what I say. And so she always wanted to be the one. She wanted to always be, but she's not even an engineer, she's an artist. So it's just like everyone who met us thought this was like a weird front. They thought this is like some sort of weird front that because she's also, really kind of hot. So everyone's thought she was like a honey trap, especially because I'm selling this stuff to the military. So we're all really paranoid and the government. And yeah, so I cut her out, and she got really upset about that. But I was like, you're not even an engineer. Why are you upset? You're still gonna get the money, but so she's a massage tweaker, yeah. So now I just give her massages every time she gets upset. I gotta give her a massage. You get tired, yep. You definitely get really tired. Your body gets tired because the trigonolene actually increases your metabolism and it increases your muscle strength. But then when it runs out, you're tired. It's a vitamin. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired too. You can see it. So 12 cups is a lot. 12 cups is a lot. The dark coffee is like a toasted caramel. This does really well in your espresso. It does well with a pour over coffee maker. People ask me what's the best way to make the coffee. I think you just make it how you normally make it. It's like a toasted caramel with brown sugar and dark chocolate. In fact, I gotta go give her a massage. Up. In fact, this coffee, this coffee is extremely sweet. It's even sweeter than cacao powder. So the level of sweetness is just incredible. Like, and depending on how you grind it, the grinding is a big will change the flavor. If you grind it very fine, it'll bring out the chocolate, kind of the boldness, some of the bitterness though. You grind too fine, it'll ruin it. So don't. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they grind their coffee way too fine. Whereas the lighter roasts, I'm sorry, if you grind it more coarse, the dark coffee will actually taste like a whiskey cask. It's got that sweet molasses brown sugar. So try it very coarse, or grind half of it coarse and half of it fine. Grind them separately and then put it into your coffee maker. Even the grind will change the taste. So the grind is probably the biggest thing you can do to change the taste. Most of us grind the coffee too fine. So you do want to try to grind it more coarse, almost like a coarse sea salt or even chunky. And you're going to notice the flavor completely changes. So if you find every time you make your coffee, it doesn't come out the way it smells, that's another kind of the most common complaint I hear from people is, anytime I make my coffee, it never comes out the way it smells. Grind it more coarse, and you're going to notice it's not going to be as strong. You may have to use more, but it's just way sweeter, has the freshly toasted like pastry flavor of coffee, that chocolatey, donut kind of fried dough flavor of coffee that you don't really get. Here's a ultra white coffee. This one's the one that Evie and I were talking about. Just gives you a nice buzz. This is what I drank this morning, and I started rambling about Native Americans and how I was trying to learn all the Native American languages. You might end up doing, getting interested in weird things because the white coffee has this. Didn't give you the body high, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you grind it too fine, it won't give you. But you might just be getting. You only get the body high the first few times. Once you start drinking every day, you get less of that. Unfortunately, it's almost like a painkiller. In that respect, it's like a painkiller. The first 2 or 3 times it feels amazing, and after that, you just feel normal. So you definitely want to, be cautious or give yourself drink it once a week. Don't drink it every day. If you're already interested in weird things, y- you're going to be even more interested in it. Um, so I tell people to grind the white coffee fine because it's harder to brew. And so if you want the taste coming out of the white coffee, if you don't want it just to be beany, you do kind of need to grind it a little bit finer. And the white coffee, it's hard to find. There are few other people doing the white coffee. It was first introduced by the Dutch brothers in 2014. They make an espresso out of it. So you should go, if you have a Dutch brothers buy, you can actually order an espresso. I don't think their white coffee is gonna, you can really drink it black, whereas you can get the Hawaiian, hook her up. She's probably happier. I know my wife is happier when she drinks the white coffee. She definitely, she has a lot of pains from her pregnancy, and it really does help with that. Helps with body discomfort. Doesn't get rid of pain, doesn't do that, but it helps with body discomfort, and it helps with your mood a lot. Um, gives you a nice buzz. It's also healthy. It's actually good for you. It's like a healthy energy drink. It's got trigonelline in it, which, you know, there's all sorts of studies. People are actually extracting the trigonelline as a supplement. It does. She drives me crazy too. But see, that's the thing, MF Duck. Your happiness depends on her not driving you crazy. So I'm telling you, you got to cure the problem, right? You got to cure the problem. It is your happiness. Her happy. That's what my wife says. My happiness is your happiness. She's right. She's right. So the ultra white is only roasted to 350 degrees. It's before first crack. We can roast our coffee this light because our coffee is pesticide free. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. You do feel like Superwoman. You feel like you get anything done. You feel like you feel like you feel like I feel like a lot of your inhibitions go away too. So it's actually good for you know if you need to make presentation. You don't get anxious. You just feel very confident for a while. You feel like a meth head. This is how meth heads feel all the time. If you've never had meth, and I've never had meth, but I know that people have put meth in my weed before because I've tested it and I came out positive for meth, and that's how the meth makes you feel. So this you can you can feel it moving through your body, and this is how you feel on meth. Yeah, I always suspected that people were drugging me, and that's apparent. So people, when you say that, people think you're crazy. So I just bought drug tests off of Amazon, and every day it's not the government. It was the government do it too. Actually, I think that's how they get people mobilized and united. That's how corporations get you. Same with communists. They get you amped up by putting meth in the water or different drugs. And now there's research chemicals, so you can't even test for it. But I was suspecting that some of the people were putting meth in my weed, and everyone thought I was crazy, or they just said they thought I was crazy because that's how they discredit you. So I just bought a million piss tests off of Amazon. And I took a piss test every day, and when I thought there was meth, there was meth. So I'm not complaining. It's fun, free meth. So this actually feels a little bit like meth, and it's not the government. It's like specific meth heads in the government who think it's good for you. They think because whenever you do a drug, you're gonna justify it in your head by saying, "Oh, it's actually good for you. Everyone should use a little bit of this. A little bit's not a big deal." Like I do that to my wife. I'll put vitamins into her water, and so I think it's a natural thing to want to do if you think something's good for someone. And so and I think as you get higher in the government or any organization, it's the meth heads who are going to get to the highest point because they got no inhibitions. They're full of confidence, and they're going to do whatever it takes because they're on meth. Yeah, I want I want to know when I'm doing the drugs. Otherwise, you think like this is something wrong with me. Anyway, not complaining. Which forever chemicals, MF Duck? If you want to detox the chemicals, you got to just get hydrogen. Hydrogen gas will basically detoxify all of these chemicals and allow you to flush it out. And that's actually one of the reasons why coffee is good for you. That stomach bacteria, the butyric acid fermenting bacteria, which you get from either coffee or beans, actually generates hydrogen. That's one of the byproducts of that bacteria. You know, it used to bundle, but I don't know if it still bundles. Apparently, someone was telling me that's not happening anymore, so I don't know if that's still a thing on whatnot. So whatever it says here, whatever shipping you guys are looking at, someone put cocaine. And then some people like my wife will ask me, well, why would they waste money putting drugs in your thing? But drugs are only expensive if you're buying it. For someone who produces the drugs, it's actually cheap. The change, 39 cents, then you're getting bundled shipping. You're getting it for 39 cents. You're getting bundled shipping. I can run some Peaberry, Kevin. Yeah, Peaberry is a is the rarest. It's about 1% becomes Kona Peaberry. It has to be above a certain size to be called Kona Peaberry, and it's a denser bean, twice as dense as our regular coffee. Takes 100 pounds. We have to filter through 100 pounds to collect 1 pound of Peaberry. So I think that was more in the 20s and 30s, right, when they actually put cocaine in there. I don't think the shipping rates are really going to hurt because we do ground shipping, and the ground shipping is just airmail. So it's gonna be about the same. The only difference is it's not gonna be like, yeah, it's not gonna be flat rate, but our we do ground and it's actually pretty fast. Yes, I don't have light pea berry. I do have medium pea berry, but I don't have any more light pea berry. And I don't even really have I have a light Hawaiian, I believe. I have a little bit left of that. But this is a light pea berry here. I mean a medium pea berry, I'm sorry. I'm not a big upper person. I already have too much energy. So anytime my wife did cocaine, she would just talk my ear off. And so I just stay away from that stuff because it's just like, oh my God, like you cannot stop talking. It's like, please shut up. Just talking, talking, talking. It's like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. So after that, I just like no more cocaine, no more coke heads. I don't want to be around that stuff. Oh, this is 8 ounce bag, guys. Shit. What am I doing? I thought that was a 2 ounce bag. I was wondering why you guys were bidding it up. Well, you guys got a deal there. I screwed up there. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I do that. Well, I hope you guys got a nice deal on that 8 ounce bag because I didn't even realize that was an 8 ounce bag. So, congratulations. You guys missed out. You gotta pay attention on this show. Sometimes I run things, I have no idea what I'm running, and then you get a great deal on it. But right now, it seems like you guys all want to try this white coffee, and I don't blame you. It's the healthiest antioxidants. You feel it in your all over your body. It's good stuff. Congratulations, Kevin. It does. It makes me do some weird things. Sometimes I'll just start rambling. It's strong stuff though. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I try to be really accurate because I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist of the mind. So it is good stuff. It's surprising that coffee can do this, but it makes sense, right? If you're making edibles out of weed, you cook it to 450 degrees, that weed's burnt. It doesn't get you high. This white coffee is only going to 350. 450 is the temperature of your dark of the dark roast. Yep, scientifically, I actually researched the whole conspiracy thing from a perspective of science. And what I concluded is it's actually not a conspiracy, it's actually ghosts. Yeah, it's actually ghosts doing it. So ghosts will tell one person to do one thing, another person do the same thing, and then we think it's a conspiracy, but actually it was a ghost. And I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's just waste. It's just too hard for you to believe. You'd rather think it's conspiracy so that you think living humans are in charge, but actually it's ghosts. It's not even aliens. You want to think it's aliens because you can. you can touch an alien, right? But it's not even aliens, it's actually ghosts. And so that's the thing no one wants to accept. It's not a conspiracy. It's not it's not aliens, it's actually ghosts. And I tested this scientifically because the latency is too fast, you know? If it was people, they have to talk to each other, they have to think about it, even if they were texting each sometimes it's I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but it's like I would call it, coordination. Sometimes it's that, but I actually think mostly it's ghosts. Yeah. You walked in on the white coffee. The white coffee makes you a little bit crazy. So the latency is too fast. Like there were times where I would order a Domino's pizza, I post it on my Facebook, and then the moment the Domino's pizza got delivered, a terrorist attack would happen in Paris. That's part of the reason why the FBI investigated me for terrorism, because they were like, "What the fuck is this, Ed?" Like every time you post a Domino's pizza, someone gets blown up. But I was like, "It's ghosts," because I have nothing to do with it. It's just we're coordinated, and they want you to think it's a conspiracy, but actually it's ghosts. There's no way it's a conspiracy. Yeah. No more dominoes. Yep. And it's not the Rothschilds. I know a lot of guys you want to think it's the Rothschilds, but it's not. I'm actually friends with multiple Rothschilds. And one of them, I was talking about how, dying doesn't hurt at all and blah, blah, blah. And then he committed suicide. And it's like, and then they thought it was my fault. Maybe it was. Because maybe most people are afraid of dying because they think it hurts. It's like, it doesn't hurt at all. Not dying is what hurts. There's some degree of that, right? There's definitely some degree of coordination, but even that, you ever try to coordinate something? You ever try to do that? Can you even coordinate a barbecue? It's just a disaster. You ever try to coordinate, a large group of people? It's a disaster. You can't do anything. People can't coordinate. So it's more like it has to be more beyond, it can't be conscious. It has to be unconscious coordination. And then it'll just happen by itself. So it's more like a push. So it's ghosts. That's what I mean by ghosts. Anyway, you guys wandered in on the white coffee. Everyone knows the Rothschilds. Everyone wants to blame them for everything, but they're actually just people who are really old and they want to die. I think a lot of them, a lot of rich people, they're not really happy with their lives. They're just like, I want to just get out of here. You've died twice. I had a near death experience once. I was doing roofies. No, not roofies, whippets. And I got this idea in my head that I'd hold my breath for as long as possible on the whippets, and then I actually had a seizure. I went into the light, and I went into the seizure, and for that moment, I was connected to everything, and then I woke up to my wife slapping me in my face, and they told me I was out for 2 minutes. I had the seizure. I was blue. Lucky, you keep winning. I was mad because I was there. I was like, why did you bring me back? I was so happy, so happy, so much happy. So much happier. So I think all of this anger that I have towards my wife is because she brought me back from the dead once. And it's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You selfish freaking person. I was happy. I was happy there. And you freaking woke me up. Why did you do that? I was so pissed. I was so pissed. All right. You're still selling the white coffee here. Yeah, the white coffee has this other compound. If you guys are just joining us, we're selling this thing called white coffee. It's coffee that's only roasted 350 degrees, so it's still raw. And and because it's so raw, it has this other alkaloid called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, some of it becomes something called methylamine, and that's the meth part of methamphetamine. Trigonylene is also on its own this powerful, compound that people are taking as a supplement, but it turns out coffee, 1 to 3% of coffee is trigonylene. Most of it disappears when you roast it dark. You won't fail a drug test. It's not methamphetamine, it's methylamine, which is a natural compound. When you eat niacin, your body will produce it. So you won't fail a drug test. It's a natural occurring compound. No one wants it now. But if you're not trying to get high off of your coffee and you're just joining us for the first time, I would try this dark Hawaiian coffee. All this coffee is picked by hand. We're direct from the farm here. This coffee is grown on the big island of Hawaii, where we have an active volcano. This volcano is constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients, so the beans here will be richer, fuller in flavor. And then we pick all the coffee by hand. We're waiting for the coffee to become deep red, purple, or brown before picking it. And so the beans actually grow bigger than beans from anywhere else in the world. They get sweeter, and so there's no bitterness, no sourness. This coffee is freshly milled. It was roasted last Saturday, so less than a week old, mold free. We don't spray with any pesticides. So the dark roast, you're not going to get the jitters. You're not going to get the shits. You're not going to get indigestion. So if those are problems that you have after drinking 1 cup of coffee, you're going to notice this coffee will not do that. And I could guarantee that I'll give you 100% of your money back. You don't have to send the coffee back to me if it gives you any acid reflux or indigestion or stomach issues after 1 cup. Now, some people are drinking this and they're like, oh, 1 cup doesn't hurt me. Let me drink 12 cups. 12 cups may still hurt you, but 1 cup, you're going to notice your body just feels good on it. Your stomach feels good. You're not going to get the shits. It actually helps with your digestion. So it's going to feel very healthy for coffee. You might, yep, you might have some farts because fiber, coffee has fiber in it. Coffee, 8-ounce cup of coffee has 1.5 grams of fiber. It is healthy. 8-ounce cup. I use a mug. And all this coffee is picked by hand, which is why it's so ripe. We pick the coffee deep red, purple, or brown. So we're letting the coffee actually ripen on the tree for 4 to 6 weeks longer than coffee from anywhere else in the world. The estate coffee is the 100% Kona. The difference is the bean quality. So the Kona coffee has the highest standards in the world. I got to take another bathroom break, so I'm going to run this $1 auction in the dark Kona estate. Estate coffee is the one that tastes like Kona coffee. This usually retails for an 8-ounce bag. You're talking about 35 to $40 retail, and it's so expensive because at a pound of our coffee, we're paying our pickers $10 to $15. That doesn't include the farmer's labor, the fertilizer, the land, the equipment, just the pickers. Whereas in a place like Honduras, they're getting paid 10 cents. The dark roast tastes like a toasted caramel dark chocolate. I'll be right back, guys. And smooth and sweet, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. right. Ah, what do we go for? 16 bucks. Ouch. Doesn't look like we got any bidders, huh? Your wife has a Stanley Cup. Is she a hockey player? All right, so no more. Oh, getting honey on my fingers. These days when I get hungry, I just drink some of this honey. I tutored this Rothschild once. His mom started Grey Goose, and he was actually pretty smart. So I don't have any honey. I only have that one bottle. So I'm getting more honey next week. I used to be one of those high end private tutors in New York who get paid 300 bucks an hour, and so I tutored a lot of really rich kids. That's how I made my money for a while, but then I stopped doing that. This is a small producer. Big bottles. Costco. I've seen that Costco honey. I don't know if it's Hawaiian honey, but we do have mangoes. Yeah, we do have mangoes, but it's mangoes are like $6 a pound out here. It's crazy. These are all small producers. Yeah, they just put in these bottles. These are mason jars. Right? Just your regular mason jar. Just stick into the mason jar and. Mm. All right, so that's my. But I don't. I'm gonna have some more jars next week. I don't have any right now. I'm gonna start removing items from my show just to make it a little bit more less confusing. You got the ultra white, the dark sampler. Um, we have an extra dark here. If you guys want a half pound of extra dark, here's a half pound of extra dark. It is really tasty, but they only make them in these big jars. They won't put them in smaller jars. It's just a lot of work to fill the jars because honey just fills so slowly. You got the honey, Viegas? Did it arrive intact? My biggest worry is that the jars come broken. Now everything's covered in honey. Ginger honey tea. Nice, Matthew or Maddle. How'd you like it? We got some pea berry. I'll do a 20-second. So before I did those 8-ounce bags by mistake. Hopefully, I gotta look at there's 2 ounce of the pea berry sampler in the medium. I thought I was doing these before, and you guys got some cheap bags. Okay, yeah, we're still catching up on those. Some people already got them, but ooh, cheap right now. No bidders. And again, if you guys are just joining us, we're coming at you live from Hawaii on the Big Island. This is all Kona coffee. Even the Hawaiian coffee is coffee grown in Kona, and it's this coffee. The extra dark is where the coffee actually has some oil on it. So if you guys like your coffee oily, just pure boldness, but without any bitterness, just probably the smoothest coffee you're ever gonna try. This is our. Which one did you get, Maddle? I guess you tried it already. We'll see. We'll see. I only started drinking coffee 3 years ago, so it is very different than other coffees. And a lot of you are like, "How different can coffee be?" It's the difference between a green or a yellow banana and a brown banana. It's just or a strawberry that has white on it versus a strawberry that's ready to turn rotten, right? At a dollar. Oh my god. I'm not making that mistake again. Not making I don't even do 5 pounds of Hawaiian anymore. I only do that on fixed prices. Let's see. We got the extra dark, remove that. I can do one 8-ounce bag of the white extra fancy. Why don't we try that? Here's an 8-ounce bag of the white extra fancy here. So this is the biggest of the white beans. Viegas, I appreciate that. Thanks for that boost. These are the biggest of the white coffees. These beans are perfect. There's no um, there's no defects in these beans, and this will be a little bit smoother. So, like if you get to Hawaiian, I feel like you drink 3 cups of it before you're gonna get kind of overly buzzed. Whereas with the white extra fancy, you'll be able to drink. That was a great deal that you just got there. You'll be able to drink 4 cups of it. And so, if you guys are just joining us, my name's Ed. I'm coming at you live from Rooster Farms. We're on the Big Island of Hawaii, where we have this active volcano here. So, we're coming to you direct from Hawaii. You see those red flowers on those trees? Those are actually a weed. Those are called African tulips, and they're actually a weed. Those huge trees only took 3 years to grow to that size, so they're kind of crazy out here. But anyway, we're coming to you live from the farm here. These are small 6-acre farms. All of these are family farms. I work with about 25 additional farms to help me source the coffee. It's all coming off of South Kona, which is roughly, you see that ridge up there, that mountain ridge? Everything to this side of it is South Kona. On the other side is North Kona. So South Kona is a little bit wetter. We get more rainfall here. We're high elevation coffee. The coffee is going to be denser. Um, we in particular we try to emphasize the picking. So most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine. And when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe. And unripe coffee is going to taste like any other unripe fruit. It's going to be sour and bitter. It's going to give you acid reflux. And a lot of people, they're like, coffee always gives me acid reflux and indigestion. I don't understand why. And it really just comes down to the fact that if you religiously wake up every morning and you drink oranges made from unripe orange juice, you're going to get acid reflux, right? If you wake up every morning and you, um, dark whole bean. Okay. Have you tried it yet, Metal? That's gonna be the sweetest one. The dark roast is our sweetest coffee. It's and all this coffee will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It's just gonna be really sweet. And the lack of acid reflux is really how fresh it is. It's mold free because of how fresh it is. All coffee is gonna have mold on it, but so I can't not gonna say mold free, but it's practically mold free because it was roasted this week. It was milled within the month. Milling means you remove the shell from the coffee, right? Coffee has a shell on it. And when you mill it, you remove the shell. The second you remove the shell, like any nut, it starts going bad. And that's why most of the world's coffee has gives you that weird aftertaste to it. It's because um the coffee was shelled before it got put onto the ship. They shell it because the shell is really bulky, it takes up too much room. It may carry diseases. It becomes a live fruit or nut rather than a kind of a shelled bean. So it's a different category. It's going to cost more to export. And so all the imported coffees get shelled, put in these giant Ziploc bags or not even the Ziploc bags. And by the time it hits your port, it's already been shelled for like months and months and months. Whereas our coffee never leaves Hawaii until after it's roasted. Doesn't even really leave these hills. And so you're getting these freshly harvested, freshly milled, freshly roasted. And so we can roast our coffee a lot lighter. It's going to be mold free. Awesome, Matt. I appreciate that then. And the white coffee is a buzz. It's really, really strong. Here's the this one's the best one to start with if you guys are new. This one will give you but won't give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It's gonna taste like a toasted caramel. Our coffee is very much sweeter than your typical coffees. It's just like when you let a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown, the amount of sugar in that coffee just every day you leave it on the tree, it like just gets way sweeter, right? And that's the same thing with coffee. Unfortunately, most of the coffee in the world is picked by people who are getting paid $1 or $2 a day. They're paid by the pound, and they're being paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee that they pick. So if you're getting paid like that, you're gonna be running around pulling whatever coffee you can pull off the trees. And unfortunately, that's why most of the world's coffee is so sour and bitter because most of it gets picked white, red, orange, pink. You know, when you get the coffee off the tree, you can you can the bean looks the same, but the you know whether it's ripe or unripe, the bean looks the same, but the amount of sugar in the bean goes way up as you leave it on the tree, and so um, that's one of the reasons why our coffee's so much better, so much sweeter, so much smoother. Won't give you any acid reflux because there's just almost no acidity in the bean. So our light roast, you can really taste the lack of acidity. Most light roasts are too sour to drink, and that's why we can roast our coffee white because our coffee is so fresh that when you drink it, when we roast it light, there's no pesticides to burn off. You know, most coffee has a lot of chemical pesticides sprayed onto it. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacterias. So we don't have any, chemicals to burn off. We don't have any mold to burn away. A lot of times I've had Kona coffee that was old and it was moldy. And you can taste that. You can taste the mold when it's roasted light. And so a lot of coffees have to be roasted very dark to get rid of the mold. And whereas our coffee doesn't start out moldy, so we can roast it as light as we want, and it's going to give you, and the white coffee gives you a huge buzz. There's actually two alkaloids in coffee. One of them's caffeine, and one of them's this other thing called trigonylene. You can look up trigonylene. I always tell people to look this up because it's a little known substance. Alkaloids are things like caffeine, nicotine, opiates are alkaloids, theobromine and chocolate. All these psychoactive compounds. Kratom is an alkaloid. Quinine and tonic water is an alkaloid. And so these alkaloids, there's two main alkaloids in coffee. One of them is caffeine, which we all know about, but the other one is trigonylene. So if you have any questions about something, whether the coffee will help this or that, look up trigonylene and whatever it is that you're wondering about, and coffee will help that. Um, and that's sort of the active component in coffee is this compound trigonylene. So once you roast coffee dark, the trigonylene is gone. Where Ed went? Am I gone? I'm here. Can you see me? Can you see me? No? Yes. Huh. Cajun tricked me. But I was maybe he's psychic because I'm thinking I need to go make myself some tea. So maybe he saw me go down before I went down. Those Cajuns. They got a portal into the spiritual world. They know things we don't know. Is it 4:20? I don't smoke weed anymore. Sadly enough, my wife won't let me, and that's part of the reason why I created this white coffee so I could still get high legally. Yep. But I'm gonna be right back. Actually gonna make some tea. So give me 1 sec, guys. I can, but I don't. If you guys want to buy some parchment, I could sell you some parchment, but never had anyone ask me for that before. How about we'll do a 3 pounder of this dark coffee, dark Hawaiian 3 pounder, guys. All right, you were asking for it. Here comes a 3 pounder. I'm gonna go make myself some tea. So this is 3 pounds of the dark Hawaiian. Here we go. How'd we do? Oh my god. 75. That's not bad. That's actually okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, Islander. I still have to make some money. Honestly, the margins on these are pretty thin for me. But it's okay to ask. All right, that was my 3 pounds of dark Hawaiian. If you guys want this, if you guys want to try the dark Hawaiian on its own, maybe I'll run one of these. Let's just run one of these. Starting to get tired. I think I gotta go soon. I gotta pack more of your coffees up. So we'll wrap this show up. This will be the last few things here. I gotta pack this coffee up. This is a Hawaiian 12-ounce bag of Hawaiian dark. You can visit the farm, but you gotta call me and tell me you're coming when you're coming, because I'm only at the farm like 5 or 6 hours a day now. Some days I'm here all day, but my wife got an apartment in town, and so I gotta run there and hang out with her, and I stay there half the week, and I stay at the farm. Wow, $13. I don't have a bed and breakfast. My wife used to have one when she was rich, but then they lost all their money. They blew it on Bitcoin and sex changes, just like America. So we're just a simulation. That's what I concluded. So now she's fully dependent on me. She used to be dependent on her rich family, but they blew all their money on Bitcoin and sex changes. They don't have any money anymore. At least no money for her. So I'm the provider now. They sold that house that you guys saw there, which they should have kept, but they're idiots. They sold it for Bitcoin. Idiots. The idiots. Here's a light Hawaiian. They sold the Bitcoin because they couldn't handle it going down because they're idiots. Anyway, so they locked in their losses. It's never coming back. Yep. There you go. Too fast. They were too fast because they needed money to pay for the sex changes. It's expensive. All right. So that's our light coffee, 12-ounce ultralight. And I got some turmeric flower stalks, which is super tasty. That's something only we have in the whole world. Only we have that. But here's a 12-ounce bag of the white Hawaiian. I will do 3 pounds for 75 if you want it. If you want to do that, be young. So I'll run that after we're done with the ultra whites. Yeah. Well, that's great. If you got the money, that's great. No, you can't. You can get the turmeric roots, but the flowers you got to actually leave in the ground for more than a year and sometimes 2 years to get the first flowers. So that's why no one in the world. If you want to plant the turmeric, you can, but it's a little bit late in the season. Let me just run that. Do we sell the Hawaiian? Yep. Let me run another. Let me run that 3 pounds for you, and I'll go back to another white Hawaiian. So I'll do these 3 pounds for 75. That was the last price that we got for it. So that's actually reasonable. Still a little bit low, but it's reasonable. The most flavorful bean I would say is the dark pea berry, probably. And in general, the dark roast is the most flavorful. Discount deals back. I'll do another one here. So these are 3 pounds. And have you tried the white coffee at discount deals? I know you like that buzz. Maybe it'll increase your sales even more. And then I'm doing some more ultra white here. See you later, Islander. Appreciate your support. Thanks, discount deals. All right, no more ultra white. All right, the last item I got today then is our turmeric flower tea. And this flower tea also kind of feels really nice for body discomfort. And then this will make you 2 liters worth of tea. Each of these stalks can make a full liter of tea, pretty strong tea, at midnight. You drink it at midnight. Wow. I do. I'm just so tired. I need to figure out my life. I need to figure out this packing. I can never stop packing. People just that's the biggest holdup right now is the packing. People keep coming and going. So this tea, turmeric flower tea, is made from the flowers of the turmeric root. So it tastes like a honeysuckle, very, very sweet. And then it's got a touch of the curcumin flavor, but it barely tastes like turmeric. I really don't like turmeric, but I like drinking this tea. It's really strong, and it's really strong anti-inflammatory. You feel it making your body feel comfortable like the second you drink it, and then it's really calming. So it's kind of a cool item. We're the only ones that have it because you got to leave the turmeric. Uh, Interesting. You gotta leave the turmeric in the ground for more than a year in order to get the tea out. I mean, get the flower to grow. So that everywhere else in the world, they're harvesting their turmeric after a year. I've left my turmeric around for 10 years, so I got some strong flowers. I don't really like selling the root. I just like selling the flowers. So the flowers is just a really nice anti-inflammatory. Has all the benefits of turmeric, but tastes good. It's sweet. It's so sweet that if you leave the flowers out, ants will come and try to eat them. It just attracts ants. A lot of sugar, natural sugar in this tea. Uh, and I don't know anyone else selling this, but I've been drinking this tea for a while, and it does feel good for you. It's unique. All right, guys. I think you guys have any last requests? I'm gonna go pack some of your coffee up so that we a little bit more caught up. So you guys have any last requests before I go? She had 12 cups. That's a lot. I think you're gonna regret that. Because when I had 4 big cups like this, although I made my cup of the full 8 ounces of the white coffee, so it was also a really strong white coffee. Ooh, I can give you some mac nuts. Yeah, as long as you feel good, maybe you won't regret it. I don't know. Let's do some Mac nuts. I forgot about those. The Mac nuts, I can't give too much of a discount. I only do those for 22. And the Mac nuts are also anti-inflammatory. They're the easiest nuts to digest because they don't have any tannins. They don't have any oxalates. So if you have kidney stones, I can say that these will not give you any kidney stones. These are the only nuts you can eat if you do have kidney stones. White coffee makes you tired. If you drink too much of it, I definitely will curl up in the ball in my room and like not want to do anything. So these are raw Mac nuts. This is what they look like here. And these are Hawaiian Mac nuts. A lot of Mac nuts these days are coming from Australia and um, Kenya, but they're not the same. Even in Hawaii, if you come to Hawaii and you buy, if you buy Mac nuts, they have to say 100% Hawaiian Mac nuts. Otherwise, they're actually coming from Kenya, which is sort of ridiculous. But everything in Hawaii is just too expensive. Roosters. I got to do that. Yeah, I got to do that. I'm just still trying to just get everything into. I got to catch up on your orders first. That's the most important thing. It's even more important than building spaceships. It's just I got to catch up on your orders. You can't. It makes you a little bit. It makes you a little bit drunk, right? It makes you feel a little bit drunk. You're kind of just like, So I also don't. I suggest you don't drink and drive. I feel like I've been reckless. So the other day I picked up a bunch of mail and I left my passenger door open and drove into the street and I was like, "Oh shit, my passenger door's open." Had to pull off to the side and close it. So the white coffee isn't a joke. Maybe. I got this machine, but it's stuck at FedEx. And now they're charging me $100 a day. So I'm just done. I'm abandoning it. I'm not gonna pay that bill. I'm not just keep packing it by hand. FedEx like didn't tell me that they're gonna charge me $100 a day to hold this machine because customs not clearing it. They didn't tell me until a month in. I'm just like, just keep the machine. I'm not paying you guys. My name's not even on this shit. Go fuck yourselves. All right, guys. Where shall we send ya? Ooh, let's send you off to Pure Drip. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like Pure Drip doesn't like me anymore. Just pick for me. It's awkward rating people sometimes.